Okay. Intro time. Okay. Intro for episode 15. Colin Meagher. Who's Colin Meagher? Colin Meagher is a living legend. Colin Meagher is the owner of SBG Clonmel. He built up a fight club from nothing, from his own personal training and from his own love of the sport and everything around the sport. Jiu-jitsu, striking, grappling, everything that comes with fighting, street fighting and sports fighting. He looked to just bring it all together. He loved it. It was the essence of his being, and you can see that from the way he talks. The man has knowledge beyond anything I was expecting. He can just flow. Everything comes back to fighting and what it teaches us and how it can be used in ordinary life and in across the board in all different sort of areas. So it was a very fascinating podcast from that regard. It was also my first podcast outside of Clonmel, even though the release dates don't exactly match up, but it was. And so it was an experiment for me. I was out of my comfort zone. I had to set up in a place that I wasn't used to, experiment with all these different layouts, lighting, imagery, magic. He's got magic up his sleeve. Hey! And he's not just okay at a few card tricks. He's good. He's very good. Yeah, he's excellent. That magic caught me by surprise. Well, hey! He's also trained up his dog, Lacey. He's big into motorbikes and mountain biking. Bought his own power motor. I've big jealousy there. I'm definitely getting one of them when I'm older. There's so many different aspects that were touched on in this. All things exciting, all things adrenaline, all things. Just all things. I hope you enjoyed this podcast. It was fun for me to be able to, because I've always known him. I've known of him for years. We went to the same school. Now he was years ahead of me, so I've always known he existed. But now I've been able to track his progress, and so it was fun for me to do that, and it was fascinating. So I got to display more of who Colin is and what he gets up to outside of fighting. And it doesn't get any less intense than the fighting. But it was good. Happy with it. Once again, shouting out to my listeners only. There's aspects of this you're going to miss. This is quite a visual podcast. I put in a lot of clips from his gym. The setting that we're in is pretty sick. Lacey was up in my lap. Oh yeah, Lacey was snoozing as well halfway through it. So if people are only listening, if you hear us snoring, it's not that there's a third person off camera who fell asleep. It's his dog, Lacey. There's also all the magic. I left the audio for the magic in for two reasons. First of all, most importantly, I'm too lazy to take it out. Secondly, I wanted to tickle your interest so you'll come across to YouTube and get that you watch the magic. Now, I butchered the cameramanning of it, and I hate myself more than you're going to hate me when you view it. But, as always, this is a learning curve. Getting better, trying out different things, experimenting. We're getting there. Don't worry, we're getting there. As always, my wonderful supporters, please like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Share it with your friends. Talk to people. Let's make Rambleland something special. So, episode 15 with Colin Meagher. Hello, Lacey. All right, Colin.
Story,
how are we getting on, Chief? Good to see you.
Hello, Lacey.
Oh.
Hello.
How are we getting on, man?
Hello.
Oh, yeah.
Hello.
You met Lacey.
I have, yeah. Hello,
All
baby.
back and all booty.
All beautiful, though. Now, right. Hey? Yeah, scratchy. Oh. I'm going to start sitting up in here if that's alright with you.
Yeah, I had vision for nearly 3 years. I had to put it off COVID. I left it for like a year.
Yeah.
And then COVID happened. And now fucking.
Now you get the opportunity to actually go for it.
Yeah, I got an email there a couple of weeks ago for a call. So it said essential services only, but like fuck it. The athletes are allowed to train. Certain athletes, like you know, if they're classed as elite, and like I would be. So it's fucking.
So John Mitchell was the first one to draw my attention to the fact that he's allowed to travel through the
Well, I know that like John. I was up in Dublin there a couple of times training with John. Not John Mitchell, Kevin. John Mitchell's in Dubai now doing his.
He is, yeah. He's living the best possible lockdown life I think I've come across.
Right.
Out of all the people I've seen in the lockdown now, he's out having savage cracker there, training all the time. Savage weather. He's moving between all the different savage apartments and stuff, and it looks absolutely sick.
I know the chap that he kept brought over with Carl. He brought me up to Dubai to fight that time. The man.
Which one now? In that poster, in that picture, with the medal hanging off it.
Yeah. Oh, are we on?
Yeah, we're rolling now.
Oh, cool.
So I'm just having a little play. So you're actually welcome to a special edition of Rambleland. Hopefully, I'm nervous now about the recording quality, but we'll roll with it anyway.
Awesome.
Colin, thank you very much for coming on, bro.
Happy to be here.
You're looking absolutely fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What's new?
Not much, man. So this is the first Rambleland I've done outside of Cork. So it's fun to be able to move around.
New environment.
Yeah, new environment, man. And this is a pretty sick environment. Like I got a few videos when I came in. You've done fantastic with the place. It looks savage. It feels like you're in a real MMA gym, man.
That's good to hear.
You've put a lot of heart and soul into it.
Fact. Yeah.
Because like I was talking it through with Stephen Winters, with his barbers, Tom Winters down in Cork, and he built the barbershop the way he'd want a barbershop, not like the way he thinks people would want to come into a barbershop. So he designed it the way he would want it, and if you come in and like it as a customer, well, in happy days, you found the ultimate barbershop.
Right.
But you seem to have done the same with the decoration and the layout of this place.
I tried to keep it as original as possible, and do what I think looks good, you know. And it's got influence, I suppose. Obviously, you have to adapt to the space you have, but I tried to bring that old school MMA vibe that I fell in love with when I was younger. You know, when I first walked into the gym, and you know, the smell of the gear and the bags and just that feel, you know. And I wanted to be a safe, happy, welcoming vibe as well, like, and just a cool place to chill out.
Where was the first place you trained?
Early when I was a kid, it started off karate in Clonmel. You know, local PJ Maloney was my karate instructor at the time. I'd done a little bit of that, a couple of tournaments and stuff, and that was fun. It was my introduction to old school martial arts, like, you know.
Yeah.
And then a few years on from that, then there was a local boxing club in Clonmel, dribbling that, a little bit of kickboxing as well, and a little bit in the school, and then eventually down to Sully's boxing gym in Kilkenny. And that's when as well, at the same time there, I started in Kilkenny Top Pro. That was my first MMA gym with martial arts. And
nice.
Kilkenny Top Pro, it was my the owners, Mick Bland and Paul Cummins were the owners, and they were my coaches at the time, as well as Miles Price, and he owns Team Rhino over there now, and Mick Brennan. And I used to go over and back there with my cousin before I was even driving for a good while. And
so you were driving from from Federt out to Kilkenny?
Yeah,
twice a week.
My mother works most of the good. We used to go most evenings, and this is just like we carpool. Some days we go out in the morning if we're off, you know, out in the morning, go back in the evening. Because
there was morning sessions out there as well.
Yeah, and so when I started driving, I remember we used to bring my little brother down for the kids' class on Saturday morning, like 11 o'clock. Then we go off and get food, come back for Dad's class. Then it was a good day thing, you know.
Yeah.
And,
what about school?
In school, I used to go to sometimes after school, but then that's what led to. That's how this place is even evolved. Then it's like when I was in school, I was an hour from the gym, you know. So again, we were lucky enough to be in a school that had a gym where I could do my own training afterwards, you know, and with friends and stuff that were into it also.
So that's secondary school you're talking about?
Yeah.
Because what age did you start doing the MMA stuff?
I started martial arts, karate from about 5-6 onwards. So and then when my early teen years was boxing, kickboxing a little bit, and then actual jiu-jitsu, wrestling, when I figured out, you can put it all together, MMA, cage, all that stuff. That was, I think, about 15, 16.
Right, okay.
And and I came from like a background. I played everything. I played a bit of guitar, played rugby, played a bit of soccer, tried a bit of basketball. I tried everything, as you do. And I like all sports. But then this was that one sport that just I got hooked on. I don't know. You enjoy it. You just didn't want to be doing nothing else. And I just got hooked. Well, I lived in the country, so obviously, like before I was driving and stuff, I had no gym, I had no car, so I couldn't go anywhere. But I did have a big empty shed next to the house that was left behind from my father after he passed. And at very young, myself and my brother just we cleaned it up. Remember we went at it with gloves and masks on. It was like a week. We cleaned up the whole thing, and then just hung up. Went into the shop and got a shitty boxing bag, just hung up in the middle. Didn't even have gloves at the time. And then it went from there. We used to go in there and just do whatever we could with homemade equipment, hitting the bag. And every Christmas, birthday, any money I had, I'd buy more stuff. I kept adding to it over a few years. Couple of friends, again, I've asked this 1,000 times about this place now, and how because it was different at the time. Because this was right at the time I dove into MMA and like this is what I want to do. Like this is before you even realised you could do it. You know? I was watching like
I know what you mean with that.
This was at the time. It was just what I wanted to do. I didn't care anymore because of the fun I had just being in the gym, training, getting better, pushing each other with your friends, and what you get out of it mentally and physically. But at that time, then this is at the time like George, when I looked up like MMA, GSP, it was just in its prime. Like, just after getting the belt and all that. So that was kind of who I was watching at the time doing it, and I'd always just have a couple of friends come over and I'd be showing them what I learned in the gym, like a couple of arm bars, a couple of submissions, just so they'd be able to give you a bit better challenge when you're training, and you push each other. And then eventually lads were asking, can they fight? So I was like, and I started to enjoy then coaching them. My brother, little brother at the time, he was only a kid, he used to always be training as well, and I enjoyed watching him. I thought it was good for him, teach him how to protect himself, stand up for himself, and I eventually started to do a couple more, and it was all for free at this stage. We just meet and train in groups for a couple of years even, and the gym was always getting better, and then I got to the point where I started running more classes. Even in college, we used to come home like midweek, nearly for the whole 4 years. So I'd have, when I was in college, I was training myself morning, noon, and night in our SBG Clonmel here in Navan, which is Evolution MMA at the time when I was with them, or down in Dublin with John Kavanagh, and we used to commute back and forth daily, either by myself or with friends who also done it. And then there's a couple of local gyms up in Athlone as well when I was there for the 4 years in college. That's where I did a lot of training as well. And that's how I ended up building a relationship with John and Kieran and so on. But at that time I used to be coaching in on like a Thursday, Friday and a Saturday, and eventually got to the point where I was like, right, there's a big group of people here now, and it was all just private at the time, and just a small, I tried to keep it very quiet, I was working part-time as well here in town in Elbridge, and I started charging a $5 a class, and eventually we'll do a membership, 60, and I was dedicating more and more time to it. Then I started to see this could be a thing, because I was in full fight mode myself at this time. I was just I'm for whatever reasons it is, for yourself, I always found, it's a good habit, it keeps you fit, healthy, keeps you improving daily, and if you slack and you show up the training, you feel it, you have a bad day, and it's at worst, I suppose. The mixed martial arts lifestyle, I find, it was just so addictive, and
so when I was coming out to you at the pit, that was just still at sort of towards the infancy of the whole project.
Kinda, yeah. I got to the point then where I was like, I could probably get 2 birds with one stone if I could. I was like, I didn't. I had a lot of work experience with my degree in college, and I enjoy it. But I can implement that here in the gym environment as well, while working with my athletes on the nutrition front and stuff.
What did you do in college?
Health science with nutrition, So it's
very much orientated to what.
And I can advise. Like it helps me myself in my own weight cuts, doing them better and better every time, more safer, and as well as giving, I suppose, a form of experience and advice to my students in here, and I haven't as well studied it, but I have done it myself as well, 1,000 times when I am making weight for a competition. And I got to the point where I was like, we have a lot of members here now, and the amount, at the time, the amount of interest that I was seeing from people asking me to move to Clonmel, because I used to be 25 minutes out back country roads, and we're still got nights getting big, with a steady
20, 30 people.
And at the time, I just loved doing it, and I used to train with my students. It was one workout, but now because I always wanted, as a kid, I always felt I need to be up in Dublin training with them lads every day. I need to be in this gym. They're the best guys. You need, it's like I always felt I needed to be there, and I always sought out those high level training partners to test myself to see am I good enough to be able to do this. And I've proven it again and again to myself over the years. Like I've gotten to fight some high caliber guys who've made a name for themselves behind closed doors. And I think what happens in the gym stays in the gym. Well, I know in my heart as well.
You're up there,
and it's like it's a lifestyle. I do it every single day since I'm young. Like at Nets, it's like I train the same way I eat. So it's multiple times even. It's like, and every day is something different. But at that point, then back when we were training, we moved to the bigger premises. I was like, right, let's try to go a bit bigger. So we extended the gym into the bigger part of the unit that we want to use at the time. And spent a lot of time fixing that up, but we very quickly I felt outgrew that, and I was finished college at this time. So again, we kind of moved in there during college. I was waiting until I finished college before I kind of made any major moves, I suppose. And then I was like, right, there wasn't. I was growing up. I was the first person that I knew around here doing it. Because I was looking.
Particularly the MMA side of it.
Yeah. Like again, we've great boxing history in Clonmel. I love boxing. Great.
And there's
athletes all around and everything. One thing I loved in MMA is I hated confining myself to just doing one thing. Is that if people that can latch onto that niche or that image, I'm going to be a runner, so I'm going to do nothing else but run every day, or I'm going to be a boxer, that means I can't ever throw a kick at a bag. Your body, you have 2 arms and 2 legs. Every person in the world is, if they're lucky enough, you to come up against a fight, is going to have 2 arms, 2 legs, and a head and a shoulder to go stand this way, and it's a puzzle. You have to learn, be diverse. If you restrict yourself to the sport of boxing, it's the sport of punching only. It's not.
You've eliminated limbs.
Yeah, limited, exactly. And it's like when you've so many other limbs that you can throw at someone, and then we don't even get, then you're not even starting with the grappling,
It's I like the way you put it though earlier, that you acknowledge from your own experiences you have trained with some of the best, and you feel the caliber matches some of the people you've trained with. Because one of the things, and I know I've asked Sean about this as well, was the fear I've had you falling into the coaching trap, which is where you maybe didn't succeed as much in the career because your heart and love went into the people you're training with. But your answer for that was beautiful. Your answer was that, well, the fellas I train with are far away some of the other caliber that I could be going up to Dublin to train with.
Yeah.
You looked at the people that you're training with as some of the best fighters that you can be competing with on a regular basis.
And lucky enough to have come up, I suppose, in that bubble, or it's. I'm trying to respond to that actually now. It's but as far as I'm just after turning 27, I'm far from done as far as an athlete. I feel like my best days are way ahead of me still, and that's I wake up every day with that mindset.
So,
but you have to, the biggest thing I think you can carry into a fight is the reason why, and it's like what you don't want to be twiddling your thumbs there like, why the fuck am I going out, But it's like, I love martial arts first, kind of fight or second. Do you get me?
Yeah.
Like what martial arts has given me outside of just going out and doing a competition is priceless. Do you get me? As far as like the more level-headedness, or put it this way, I couldn't imagine what way I would be had I never learned some of the values that I have done through doing martial arts over the last 15 years. And it's like, for putting yourself out there, testing yourself, learning to control your mind, your emotions, having that discipline to yield the results, whether it's making weight or showing up to training to prepare to actually go out and, if you do well, it's all on you. If you don't do well, it's all on you. Don't look to point the blame to, you show up, you control what you can control,
Yeah, that was one of the things Sean said when he was deciding whether or not to quit rugby and take up MMA properly, was that concept of just the responsibility is on you.
Yeah.
And if you fail, it's on you, and if you succeed, it's on you.
But you don't have to take up MMA to go out and have to be a world champion. everyone is human. It's a life skill. Same like
humans have that hierarchy built in them, though they want to be the best.
I get that.
I think everyone wants that. Like.
Fact. Well, that's good, but as if it's healthy competition against yourself.
Yeah.
Do you get me? And you're like you improve through challenges. It's like when you slack, then it's like as I say, you show up and you get your ass whooped in a respectful way. You know, it's not like obviously if we're talking about the gym environment. That's just a separate question. We'll get onto that. But like when I moved into Clonmel, then back to the other thing is like. It just took off when we first moved up to the new place, you know. And then, but after the first year, I was like, when it came to winter time, especially, it was freezing. And we had like 4-year-olds doing their warm up on a Saturday morning. They can't feed their toes. I was like, you know,
we're gonna have to do something.
Yeah. So this came up, jumped on it, and again, no looking back now. Like, Corona kicked in then when the gym was booming, and look, I can't wait to get back at it. So I was waiting for the green. Look, I'm always a busy man outside. This is supposed to keep at like, but. At the same time, you miss the atmosphere, the electricness of the atmosphere.
Oh man,
there's 30 lads.
Like, there's no making up for what Corona's taken from us. Like that environment that you can get on a daily, weekly basis. There's nothing like it. But you're getting itchy feet again because you want to build into a new premises once more. Yeah. You're constantly looking at that next thing, ready to go, next level, up we go.
Fact. And I'm humbled by how. Just how the town has received that, and I'm excited to see where it goes in the future. You know, it's a team, it's a vibe. It's like I wanted to be able to do what I love every day. I'm nowhere happier than when I'm in here. And it's like, you know, I want to be able to. I get satisfaction out of showing or trying to show or help some people see or get what I myself have gotten out of it when I was younger or growing up, and still do. Do you get me on a daily basis? Like, and I think what you learn. Like again, there's no hierarchy inside an MMA gyms. You know, it's.
And if you come in with an ego, you're quickly going to get cut down.
It's like on certain team sports that I've experienced growing up. There's like your A team, your B team. He's a sub, so he's better than you. You're fighting for his position, or it's like. It can be healthy, but can also be toxic in the wrong environment as well. And you know, it's very. You know, it can potentially knock a lot of some kids. You know, well, I find there could be a guard, there could be a lawyer, there could be somebody or jail, there could be somebody on the dole, there could be carpenter, there could be every single Tom, Dick, and Harry on the mat. No one knows, no one cares. You know, you're a person. Come in. How are you doing? Try your best. Failing's part of improving. Do it smart and safe, you know. But I think, from what I've seen and experienced growing up, and still do, in some, not all, but in some toxic, I suppose, team environments, it can be very. Again, you're, and then when that, like, you know, if somebody can go their whole life, then like you can't solve that. If you disagree with somebody, you're shouldering them or you're trying to get the ball, or whereas. You can't talk shit like that. Everyone's so respectful in here. It's like everyone's MMA gyms where you meet some of the nicest, cool, similar people. But if you come in and start, if you're looking for, if you set the precedent that that's the way it's going to be, that you're talking shit or you're going to be trying to hurt people, it's like when you're coming in your first day. It's like don't be, you know, and then you're shocked when somebody tries to humble you in a respectful way. Do you know? It's like, but that's what it teaches you. It teaches you. You know, it's a life lesson in a way. Do you know, like. I think, you know, one of the three, my granny told me when I was young lad, always stuck with me, is the three best lessons in life can be an empty pocket, a broken heart, and a broken nose. Do you know?
An empty pocket.
Yeah, if you broke.
What are the three of them again?
Broken heart, broken nose.
And a broken nose. An empty pocket.
And so many people, unless you put yourself out there and you're always shielded by your safe environment, you can go your whole life talking shit to people, but never pay the price, never get seen. That if you get, now everyone's in modern day society, obviously it's
you can't go around spirits with fisticuffs.
But back when we were kids in school,
that's how it was dealt with.
Yeah. So
there's a valuable lesson to be learned there. Like,
fact, because you can't be a grown man getting in someone's face to be. You know, it's like there's boundaries you don't cross. Put it that way, and it's like, and. You know, martial arts, like swimming would say if you fell into water, martial arts in this day and age is potentially, look at the statistics that are out there, you know, it's like, and I like to think there's more good than bad, you know, but it's like, you can be the wrong, I have my own experiences, I'm sure you do, everyone does have something, most people meet, But you're in the wrong place, wrong time. You could be a nice person in the world, unprovoked, and you need to be able to protect yourself, fight or flight, you know?
It was interesting. Sean was. Did you see the video he threw up there the other day of him skateboarding with? Yeah. It's fair funny. There was some laugh watching. But you see the little clip. He was only explaining this to me last night. You see the little clip where there's boys like boxing each other in the car park. That was like there was a group of young kids just hanging around there, like 16, 17. You know, just hanging around, bored, nothing much going on. One of them was drinking, and they're hanging around the boys because Adon ollied over Sean. Sean was lying on the ground, and Adon ollied over him. And the boys came over, oh, what, boys, that's so cool, that's deadly. And they're hanging out with them for a bit. And one of them was getting a little bit lippy with one of the other mates there, and it was kind of going over and back, and it was just sort of bickering. And Sean was like, here, boys, I've got boxing mitts here in the car, like, you should sort this out. And the boys were like, oh, really? Oh, that was savage. So he took them out, threw it to the two boys, and was like watching the two boys just mess fighting, like, and they even, before it even started, they go to each other, are we messing, like, or what's going on? The two of them are like, yeah, we're messing, we're going to mess. And so they're there messing around and swinging, and they're loving it, like, and all the kids are getting a good buzz off it, and they're releasing this energy, and they're engaging, and they're thinking with their fists in a controlled environment.
Yeah.
And then they got tired and they got sloppy, and Sean sort of wound it down. But they left joking and laughing and hugging and messing all over again. And that was a very small moment in their lives that symbolises a bigger thing for putting people's energy into something worthwhile, or at the very least something controlled and constructive.
Yeah. Like, I think there's a very primitive instinct built into humans.
There is, yeah.
As a species, as an animal, the same way, you know, you look at watch David Attenborough, things kill each other.
Do you have the dark side of nature and real nature on Instagram?
Yeah, I do.
Woo!
Like,
boys, a dear.
Do you know, and MMA, unlike trying to kick a ball into that net, which again, great fun. Great fun. I love it for fitness, a bit of crack, a bit of footwork.
But there's something missing.
Touch, but there's nothing more free and expressing than actually fighting another human. Yeah. And you can do it in restricted ways. Like I said, the sport of boxing, it's a mixed martial art, MMA. So it's like, it's the closest thing to a real fight, a real self-defense situation, minus weapons, with a couple of safety tips, so you can do it to improve. Yeah. And then knee in the balls. It's like, or headbutt you. It's like, if you're skilled enough to be able to land a knee to someone's chest or face, or do,
you don't need to go for the balls.
You surely could anyway. If you're in a that's people that have that quick result that I'll just do this. It's the same as that. If you've never practiced this, no, you're not mentally ready to handle the stress of the situation if it did happen. And physically, the muscle memory isn't there. So it's like, that's the idea. Every day you show up, you're getting closer and closer to perfection, even though it doesn't exist. Like, you're trying to add that 1% daily where you show up, improve, lead better. It's a good routine leads to good outcomes. And like, you obviously, in order so you can show up every single day and train and improve, you want it to be safe. So you don't want to be coming in clapping heads off each other and punch drunk by the time you're 30. It's like, you train, like John said it best, where you update the hardware, your skills without damaging the software, your brain. You want to be smart. You want to have a sharp mind. If you want to be a good fighter, you have to have a sharp fucking mind. Yeah. It's like, and be able to outwit your opponent. It's all up here. It's like, and I heard a thing before. I just put when you're training, come up to any competition, or even just day to day, you don't have to have a competition. Train because it's a healthy outlet for you. And it's like, GAA, it's in Ireland. American football, America. Some sports like soccer, golf, they're But no sport transcends countries and generations rather than fighting. It's the most natural thing you could possibly do.
Do you know what I actually saw the other day? I think it was a Vice documentary. Was this Nigerian boxing? Yeah. But it was vicious. It was they wrap one fist in this kind of leather, and it's called the spear. Yeah. Have you seen any of this?
No. But again,
and some English fella, I think he originally was from Nigeria, quit his job in England, making good money, and set up the proper organisation over in Nigeria with this fighting, and it's mad. It's mad. And there's all different versions of fighting across all the different sports. It's one of the only things that all nations seem to have a version.
And then as far as what one should I do? That's the question you hear. Where should I go to learn? my philosophy or the way I train myself. Now, how a coach is different because I'm coaching for different things. I'm coaching, like we have our MMA, so we have our kids program. You know, we do our gymnastics, we build up the strength and conditioning. We do our striking and MMA class with them. We do our gi and our no gi Brazilian jiu-jitsu and wrestling, submission grappling, all that with them. Everything from, you know, we have our kids program. Then the adults class. So like complete fighting. If there was two humans, no weapons, no rules, no nothing, go fight to the death. You know, it's like you unarmed combat. That's the way it should be. Like it's like you start putting into the individual martial arts. You know, you have your wrestling, your boxing, your kickboxing, your like. If you look at kickboxing, taekwondo, K1, Muay Thai, they're all different forms of kicking and punching. You know, different rules. You can't kick the legs. You can't clinch. You can't. You know, this, that, and the other. So it's like. Wrestling is just focused on takedowns. Judo, mainly throw orientated. You have suits where you can grab the lapels and stuff. Different rules. They simulate a jacket, same way gi and jiu-jitsu sleeve, a jacket. Then if they're in a t-shirt, it's like no gi. You know, grips and different things apply. Learning one will, you know, it opens up different light bulbs that you learn by doing one that you don't learn the other. Cross training will take, you know, it'll evolve your game even more. It'll make it more, you know, more evolved, more diverse. Yeah. That's why limited to the sport of punching or just kicking or just one. Now, if it's just a hobby and you just want to do it because you enjoy it and you get therapy from it and it keeps you fit, stick to one. Yeah, it's not everyone wants to go out and like, you know, get punched. And you get wet gun swimming, so you're going to get hit in the beginning. You try to train as safe as possible, having a good coach and a safe environment and somebody that, you know, look out for you, not let you get clattered by a bully on the mat, you know. Yeah. So it's like and that's the biggest job for a coach, for safety and making sure it's a welcome and safe environment for people. A day one beginner can come in the doors and train alongside the experienced guys who are here several years, who are pro level. And again, one tribe, one vibe. We improve together as a team in a respectful, safe way. The new people learn quickly from studying and watching and monkey see, monkey do, watching the more experienced people. The more experienced people that are taught in the environment to be humble and respectful. You remember what it was like in your first day, help that person out and bring them on safely. It's like you teach them to be respectful and humble, you know. But again, don't be a bully. You know, it's like that's the we instill that in our kids from day one. It's like, if you're better than the person you're with, don't hurt them. Yeah. Bring them on, show them that you're a bit better, but be respectful and control. You should, if you're good enough to beat them or think you're better than them, you should be able to control your power and your weapon, your speed, and just adjust it down where you can just flow and just touch. You know, and train safe. Teach them how to train safe. It's not, you don't go out and just start trying to knock each other out. That never happens. And
what would you say karate influenced in you later on? What skills did you get in karate early on that you carried through?
Just patterns that drilled into you from a young age, muscle memory, and just patterns and conditioning, the discipline, the respect for your coach, your dojo, and you know, that old kind of traditional martial arts samurai way of thinking. You know, it's like
sensei.
Yeah, like martial arts first fight. It's like I said, even if you are going to be a fighter, it's going to be a very short block of your life. You know, and it's like, but you can train martial arts until the day you die. You know, it's like you can learn a new skill or a new technique. There'll reach a time when your body reaches a peak bone and muscle density, and as you get older, your hormones change, you start to lose. But it's like you can always learn new skills, new technique. It's a interest as well. You know, it's like the curiosity for that new unfound technique. It's like, and I was only having this conversation with a person this morning. And I was like, I heard it put well. I can't remember where I heard it, but it's when you're showing up to training for your first couple of years, everything's new knowledge. That's the excitement to show up to train. You learn that new punch, that new class takedown, that submission, and it's like you're getting food for your brain. You know, it's showing up every day, and that's your motivation to get there, enthusiasm. And when you get to that kind of elite level a few years on, and you're showing up a coach, I've seen that move 10 times already. You know, it's like showing something new. You know, it's like at that point then you're trying to refine, get rid of what you don't need and refine what you already know. You know, and it's like, and perfecting that game, you know, and taking that to a new level as far as your timing and you know, it's like, and
what's impressive though is that like you've had you've all this knowledge on MMA just ready to go. This is such ingrained in who you are. This is all automatic. You're just reciting this stuff off. It's incredible to watch you and the enthusiasm you have with it. But you're not just limited to MMA. Like you're spread out across so many different things outside of the sport. Yeah. In terms of hobbies and activities,
I get, look.
Like, you could easily do an hour on the flow that you have going now, but there's so much more there as well.
Yeah. Let's look, as far as, I suppose, other things, I just feel like a big kid. It's like life's for living, you know, and I really try and embody that philosophy. Like, it's like, because I've been in situations where I've been doing I've had different jobs. I've worked in jobs I didn't like growing up, and it's like,
I think everyone needs that.
yeah,
Everyone needs to work a job you don't like. At the very least, it's a job you know you won't go back to.
And I'm blessed to be lucky enough to be able to have found something that I really, really do enjoy. And it's a hobby. Obviously, it puts a roof over my head, but at the same time, every day I show up, I'm just working on myself. You know, and then it's like when I'm not in the gym, then like the gym is my favorite thing to do, as well as my form of income, one of them, you know, and it's like, then, like when I'm outside the gym, then if I'm not, like family time, DIY at home, or else, you know, I have other hobbies, things that I know, bikes, dogs and fighting, I always say, I'm actually,
Bikes, dogs and fighting.
yeah, big motorbike fanatic, and then,
Tell me first of all, before we move away from MMA, how COVID has affected you.
Oh yeah, look, it's we're every single day we're involved in pre-COVID. You know, the gym was booming. We had a few hundred members. We're only in Clonmel a year and a half before COVID hit, and
you had over 100 members.
We did about 350 close. Yeah, and but
active members.
Yeah, in fact, all the time.
What?
Yeah, and for a small town like Clonmel, yeah, and it's always growing like so.
Bro, that's a big number.
Yeah, with over 100 kids.
That's more than my Insta following, like. That's crazy, boy.
And that was a week. The place was crazy on a weekly basis coming in now. But that's what I was trying to look. I'm hoping to evolve if things get back to some sort of normality post COVID now. But again, we're working away online as it is now. But we'll do what we can.
Those online training sessions are
it's not the same.
No,
not the same.
Not the same.
When you're having 30 people there pushing each other, everyone for different reasons. This lad has a fight coming up. This person's got a family and kids, and he's just here once a week, you know. But everyone, you know, and it's a kick in the teeth, obviously. But again, it's giving me plenty of time to tip away at other hobbies that I do love and have great passion for. Again, road bikes, dirt bikes, I like cars, and again, dogs, time with family, my girlfriend, and I try my hand at that, and it gives me a bit of a buzz or a rush. A lot of mountain biking. And
are you an adrenaline junkie that just never found the Marines?
I don't. It's hard to call yourself anything, is it? I just do what I feel is normal for me. Do you get me? And just try and have fun. I try not to take shit too seriously. I try to.
But you've obviously got a high tolerance for stimulus. You need a lot to feel.
I've been a lot of fights growing up, competitively and self-defense. My father was like I said, a well-known rally driver at the time, so I maybe got a bit of that from him as far as motorsport. You know,
and he actually passed away through the rally.
Yeah, when I was 8. And
see, man, that's extremely tough. Yeah. And that could have put something inside you that carried you through. Well, not could have. That probably put something inside you that carried you through all your fighting career. Like, did you find maybe you had a lot of anger from it?
I don't know. Yeah, like it definitely has evolved with anger at some point, maybe, but it definitely has changed over the years. I try not to think. I try not to get caught up in the bad thought processes, and what I've been bad is like, you know, make peace. You have to make peace that it's happened, and I try and I dwell on the good. You know, when I look back at it, I try and smile at all. You know, I haven't had that experience. I haven't. You know, I don't feel sorry for myself anyway. You know,
but that's one of the things that I always say to people who've come through things of trauma is that, like, you actually have now, for whether you want it or not, you have this experience that's actually very rare, and you can actually help people in a very unique situation. Yeah. And you have people who come to your gym who've also lost fathers, and you connect with them on a level that no one else can.
I hear stories other people telling me, and you realise it's like, look, I said I don't feel sorry for myself. I grew up witnessing the strength my mother had to continue on with 4 kids, you know, all under the age of him when it happened, like, and and seeing the life that she provided for us growing up, and man, that gives me for more strength than you could have for anything, like, unbreakable. Do you get me? And it's like when I'm
single mothers or some women.
Oh man, you think you're tough, do you know? And it's like you think you feel fucking you're having a lonely night or whatever. Do you know? I put myself in that perspective. And man, having dealt with that at a young age, and life goes on. Life has an amazing life. You know, I love it what I do, and I love waking up every day and going off, just having fun, you know. And you know, you put food in the fridge, you put money in the bank, and you take care of those, look after you. It's like, you know, life is, you work to live, you don't live to work. So it's like, and the years fall away quickly.
They do.
If you're doing something you don't like, I've experienced that too. It's like you get caught in a routine, and it's like that's a destructive one that keeps you in a rut, you know. And this every day is different. You know, we get when we're open. You're fighting. You're fighting in Italy next month. You know, it's like let's go. You know, it's like it's mad. And every day, it's a healthy lifestyle. That's the way I look at it. You know, you're not coming in. You can train every day, multiple times. You're taking care of your body. You're trying to build skills for self-defense first and foremost, making your mind bulletproof and the body, the skills as well. You know, to match. And you train in a safe way. Again, I feel like I've jumped from a few different questions at the same time. I think I've answered the other ones, but it's like, you know, it's like.
That's the triple espresso hit.
Yeah, it's good coffee.
Hashtag no filter. Yeah. They came out with a savage cup of coffee. To be fair to them,
but when you're like when I started that class structure in the gym, like with the adults and our team program, like assume like again, if you get caught, if you're a 10-time boxing world champion, what happens if a big guy grabs you in the pub? You've never experienced wrestling or jiu-jitsu. You know, it's like. You think you can.
Never mind when you land on top of it.
You could be. Look, I was that guy, but like again when I was younger, and I see it again, and I've seen it 1,000 times coming in over the years in the gym, where this big guy, he might have done boxing, he might have done, you know, he's lifting weights, he's in shape, he comes in, and this little 14-year-old girl has, and he's like not a chance. You know, you think that until you show up to your class and fucking do it. It's like people think that like they're not on the grand, like they wouldn't, but they're too. They're telling themselves that, but we get for reassurance, but they're too afraid to show up to the class and find out. And it's like it's finding out is what will help you grow. It's what will make you. It'll open up a new way of thinking, a new humbleness. It's like it kind of crushes the ego.
Oh, it does, yeah.
It makes you see,
it does.
and that will help you positively in life. It'll help you with people. It'll help you with improving yourself. Because it's like it's having the courage, no matter what. And from like we have kids as young as 4 in here. That's what the age they start from, up to people in their 60s. You get me? So of every single sort of person, you get fit by showing up. You don't need to be fit to start. You know? And it's like. And
did you see that video going around with the young one cracking your man a dig in the apartment?
No.
Oh, bro. And the funny thing is that you can tell from the video. So I think they're kind of drinking. But you know by looking at it, he was probably like, oh, this young one, she couldn't hurt me. And she cracks him! Boy, he's staggering onto the kitchen, back into the fridge and onto the ground, and it's flipping hilarious to watch.
And when people hear me saying that about coming to class and get humbled, it's not it's
not about getting school.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
it's about learning.
In martial art, it's the journey that you go on yourself.
Yeah.
You're your own martial artist, and as a coach, we're trying to provide the environment and giving you the tools to help self-improve and train yourself, and showing you giving you the fundamentals to get you going, guide you safely along the way, and create that safe, welcoming environment. You know, you need a workshop, to get it done, and you need iron sharpens iron. You need partners, you know. Yeah. And I'm like the choreographer, and that's all it is. Like it's like you come up and. Assuming you want to learn self-defense, when a fight could go anywhere. Yeah. Okay, so you can show up again tomorrow, we'll take out the headbutts, take out the groin shots, take out the scratches so you're not getting your face clawed and cut, take out, like bending fingers, take out biting, and it's like you don't like that. Yeah. Like I said previously, if you're good enough with your skills, that's what you build to be able to do it in a real scenario. It's like, I know the harder you train, the luckier you get, when the time comes.
I like that one.
But
that's a good one.
But and you come. How do you? And there's so much going on in MMA, so it's not going to put a beginner out. Right, go fight. So if you come in, we have our strength combat conditioning classes, and again we'll tailor them differently to individual needs. If you're weak in the legs, if you need posture corrections, whatever it is. And then we have obviously our group fitness classes, where again it's just general conditioning. And again, PTs where if you want to single out and work one-to-ones with people. Mm-hmm. But then we have your boxing classes. Mm-hmm. Again, MMA fighters, we box as much as any boxing gym would. We boxing every day of the week, and we work on your head movement, your footwork, how to hit, how to not get hit, and we stick to fundamental amateur boxing rules, you know.
Yeah.
And again, from your solo drills, partner drills, bag drills, a box spar, and so on and so forth. You have a kickboxing, we just call it striking. It's kickboxing, Muay Thai, everything. What works, what doesn't work. You're using all of them to hit, dog, hit, kick, punch, knee, elbow, clinch, sweeps, so on and so forth. And again, classes are, they change every single week, every month. They're always evolving. And
Do you think now when you come back from this corona, do you think the talent is going to have improved, or people be a little
it'll be a
stale?
case by case basis. Again, I'm not to do a lot of some issues. Some are trained flat out, some are
Slipped off.
But again, there's only so much shoulder training you can do as well to make it. You can look great in the bag on pads and whatever, but it's different when there's somebody in front of you trying to hit your back. You know, it's like Michael Tyson said the best: if everyone has a plan to get punched in the face, you know. So it's like, yeah, you need that to deal with that mental stress of having somebody there working you, trying to break you, trying to make you or put you under pressure. You know.
The first 2 competitions back now, man. I think the talent is going to be unreal.
Yeah,
People are hungry.
Yeah,
People are hungry for it again, man.
Yeah, a new beginning. I can't wait. And you and me both. But if I can, well, yeah. Look, so the boxing is still all your hands. The boxing skills. But we just we break it down. We focus on that in the boxing class. Just to take a piece of this puzzle. Let's dissect this. And every time you come to this class, you're working on that. Now, if you only show up to that, you're like, I encourage people watch the classes should be done. The timetable is structured. Start off with 1 session a day. If your body adapts to it over a few weeks and you're recovering well in between sessions, your nutrition's good, sleep's good, you can maybe up to a couple of sessions a day and diversify. Cross train and rest. You can do your working your hands this day, so your conditioning tomorrow. Every day is different, and that's the way it's structured. So then you have your boxing class, your striking classes, kick, punch, knee, elbow, clinch, sweep, whatever, hit, don't get hit. And skills and drills to improve on that, everything from bag work, pad work, everything. And then wrestling classes, combination between free, and we explain the different rules. So in a striking class, okay, this lad has a K1 fight next week, this lad has a kickboxing fight next week, this lad will learn to defend himself. We explain the rules. If you're fighting K1, you can't do this. Or if you're fighting and Muay Thai, this is a rule. It's like, so they're aware of it, they're educated on it. So if they do have a fight coming up, they can, building up to it, they get comfortable perfecting that rule set, they train that rule set, and it's, again, everyone's different. And but the more rules you add, the more it's taken away from real self-defense,
Yes.
So it's like, I'm always trying to think street, train sport. I always say that in classes, trying to remind them, okay, this is the way we're being taught it, I could also do this. I want you to be, trying to think in your head, what else could you do? It's like, making sure, but he might do that to me in a real fight, it's like...
Why are you putting such an emphasis on street?
Because at the end of the day, you're coming in here to learn to defend yourself. So self-defense 101. It's like, that's, if you go to a Krav Maga class, you're not going to experience what we experience doing MMA or Jiu-Jitsu or any of that stuff, which you're going to be drilling the most extreme street with knives, guns, and, but it's not, it's fun, it's like, unarmed combat, come in, learn to use your body as your body's a vehicle, learn how to, like a Formula 1 car, you put the good fuel in that and put it through the test every day, I suppose, it's like,
Tell me what you're getting up to outside of MMA stuff.
Outside of MMA, my latest venture, I bought a paramotor there recently. So
explain to people what a paramotor is.
It'll allow me to fly, basically. It's cheaper than a helicopter and a plane and a jetpack. So I was like, if I could have, as I said to you before this, if I could have had one superpower going up, it'd be to fly. I thought it was the coolest thing ever to be able to just up in the cloud. I've done a couple of skydives and bungee jumping and stuff, and it's the coolest thing ever. And basically what it is, it's a joint wing, so that's the parachute.
Yeah.
And again, you fly that like a kite.
So you're sitting into a cart?
And you sit a little harness that goes around you. It folds, you can stand up and run up, but then you sit back in it and spin it by the weight of the strings of the chute. It's a seat. So your legs are just out in front of you dangling. It's got a big motor behind you, and you have the throttle in your hand here. You can steer the wings, you can pull up to land and brake, whatever. And then you just run, get the cut up, run, and then accelerate the throttle in your hand, and you can take off, and you can literally fly. And
how long is flight time?
Yeah, same as a motorbike, petrol, it's 2-stroke engine.
3-4 hours of
2-3 hours, is it? Yeah.
Continuous flight time.
And you can just glide anywhere.
Bro.
YouTube, going up to 17,000 feet, and that's not very recommended. You have some of the edge of the atmosphere, but
He surely had a mask on.
No, it's on YouTube, check it out. And then another lad seen him fly to McDonald's and everything.
Imagine rolling up to the window in a suit.
That's fake, you know, I just thought it's something different, something fun, something that, it's like, why not? If you have the opportunity to be able to go up and experience that at your leisure, you know, why not?
How much skill does it take to fly?
I don't know, I'm getting lessons next week now. I'm going to get a few until he tells me I'm ready. Watching a lot of stuff on YouTube, and then just
YouTube tutorials to fly.
And look, my life is in my own hands, obviously, so I'm not going to be reckless with it. Take my time. And,
do it properly.
Get confident, but I'm not playing at the kite and just getting the hang of that.
So you actually have the paraglider at home?
Yeah, and the kite in the car if you want to see it after.
How big is it?
Oh, it's about 20 metres across probably.
And it folds and folds. The kite like?
The wing, yeah, it's massive.
And it folds out on a frame?
No, it just catches the wind and blows out like a kite. It's like a big blanket.
Okay.
And
do you have to start from a high elevation?
no.
On that, you going out there, you could get a bit of traction.
You can probably do it from the car park, but you need a couple of acres around it, you know.
And you can climb and decent.
Yeah.
Ah!
Yeah, for that lad, it's biking. I try to go off on the mountain bikes at least once a week for the fitness. You know, it's a bit of fun, adrenaline, and
they're savage crap, man. I remember that going up to. That was the only time I've done it now since was up in Ballyhooly. Is it Ballyhooly?
Yeah, some spot for it.
Was not expecting how much fun that thing was.
Yeah, but one thing then, every time I go on I've gone out on the motorbike since I've been a little kid. I got my first bike when I was, again, 5, 6 or 7.
Wow. Well, little 50cc.
Yeah, my father is a motorsport head. You know, when I was a kid, he had quads and go-karts and all. Yeah, so it was what I'd done. And I'd see him racing the rally cars, and it was just like, it was normal, you know, going fast and you know, it was normal, like, and that's another thing I'm doing at the moment. That's why I'm restoring an S card belonging to him. You know, RS 2000 Mark II. It's so that's got a lot of sentimental value. It's been sitting in Sheffield the last 20 years, so I'm supposed to get that finished now.
And how far along are you with that?
Got paper blasted there and primed a couple of weeks back. So now it's in front of the bodywork before the final spray.
Yeah.
And then the reassembly of all the other parts, everything restored, the interior, the engine, the loom, all that.
Oh man, that's a beautiful restoration project.
Yeah, so it goes. And then the dirt bike's then my biggest passion next to fighting. I absolutely love bikes.
There's someone out there?
No, I thought that. But yeah, so I get on the bikes 2 or 3 times a week. And
where'd you go with the bikes?
I have my own track, lucky enough to
jumps and everything in it?
Yeah, I have a field close to the house. It's like 8.5 acres, and I have a track kind of built around it with jumps. I go up there to mess around, and then when you have permission to drive on private land, you know, then, you go off exploring. Trail riding.
But going around the track must be savage crack, because I've done. Jonesy had a track built out towards Care. I'm not great up on the bikes, so I've had multiple crashes on road bikes and on the dirt bikes.
Same.
And there's nothing like it. It's driving at speed on bikes, man. It's just something else.
That's just I love it's exercise, which are getting out in the fresh air, trail riding. You're seeing wildlife, deers every day. Other bikers, it's the community just cruise. You go up and see Queens. Look, there's a handful of clowns. You're getting on a bike at your own risk, and you're trying to put the blame on somebody else when you fall off. You're hurting. It's ruining it on the whole community. Bikers, young lads who shouldn't have them in driving down public roads in the middle of the states and the cities and just causing. It's like there is that biking community that are licensed, taxed, insured to ride motorcycles, and you're going on. Same as a bike. It's like a motorised bicycle. And you're driving a narrow trail, generally a deer patch or something that got wide and walkers use them, the whole lot, and then creature are living in forests and getting paid to do it, and destroying habitats, you know. And we're oftentimes driving on the trails that they're leaving behind, you know. It's like look, something needs to be the legislation there to help. Help meet halfway. You can't just.
Well, the thing is, like, society is moving rapidly to extinguish any source of enjoyment.
Freedom.
Freedom. That's a good way to put it. Freedom.
As a kid, every man for himself. You should be. As a kid, you used to be. You know, the freedom you had to do it, like now, as the years have gone on, it's just more. Every time that somebody has a little hiccup or a problem, they put a new law to stop other people. Like it's like you can't make a mistake anymore.
Yeah.
Do you know, it's like if you do make a mistake, it's caught on camera. Do you know, the world knows about it. So it's like it's a big deal.
It is a big deal.
It's
the more you suffocate the sources of pleasure for fellas and for men and women alike who enjoy the sort of more risk-based exercises, they have no outlet for it. Where is it meant to go? Like that enjoyment, that pleasure isn't just going to go away. That desire to have that excitement isn't going to go away. And I don't know what happens when you completely extinguish all those sources. Do you know, it's not going down a good path. Because young kids and stuff need to get into martial arts and they need to get into sports that push them and force them to test themselves and to find out who they really are, so that they can sit properly in school then Monday to Friday. But you're taking away all the sources. They're acting up in school. You're filling them full of Ritalin and all sort of ADHD medicine, when all they actually really need to do is just get out and be more active. And it's the same with the bikes, and the same with all those sort of sports that, like insurance. Insurance is killing all the mountain biking trails. Killing it, like even Ballymore, I was chatting to your man who runs it. Like they can't have too many more lawsuits and stay open. It's not viable for them.
You wonder. I can understand that mindset where some people think it's like blaming someone else because you fell off a bicycle. Like, you know, it's like don't make it. It's a
that rock there was too slippy. You should have been in control of that. It's like, what? What do you mean? But you see, that's like
people feeling like they're owed something in life. It's like
that's what it is, though. They're riding around with that as their mentality. And as you said, it ruins it for other people. But you know, what can you do?
Fact. And look.
Bikes
anyway. Like when I was a kid, we used to feed next to the house. We used to have a big ramp there in the middle of the field, and just every day after school, I did it 100 times. You know, and that was just Travis Pastrana and Nitro Circus and that shit. That was my like a lot of the growing up.
But man, how many bones have you broken?
A few. Jeez, I've had over 30 X-rays, I'd say, at this stage. And I'd say I can only attribute maybe 1-2 of them to MMA. You know.
The rest of the bikes?
Yeah, the rest of the bikes. Oh man, the bikes will kill you.
The bikes will kill you, but it's amazing you haven't been killed off them. The bikes are lethal, man.
I love them. Every day I go out and I'm falling. It's like, because I wonder can I get up that hill? You know, you begging each other on if you're in a group, I bet you couldn't jump that.
How many of you would go out regularly?
I love going off on my own. I love going off on my own because you just tip along smoothly at your own pace cruising, but there's loads of lads that go. There's a big community of bikers all around here, so it's like I go off here and comment some lads different places, and then I won't say where I'm going. But
and so like
there's a fair crew.
Going back to the paragliding for a minute. Is it paragliding or hang gliding? Paramotor.
Yeah, okay.
There's a different end from the paragliding.
Yeah.
Because paragliding, are you lying?
This yoke you can actually fly. You can control it, and you can literally zoom everywhere up and over. You cruise probably like about 1,000 feet to be standard. You know, you can go up and just fly wherever you want. You can land in a field. We've a couple of acres to land. You know,
and there's no, what's the regulation? Like how hard was it?
Stay out of airspace. You know.
Stay out of airspace.
Yeah.
And where does that start?
Airports, I think. And
just literally in the vicinity and around the airport. It's after a certain height as well, though.
Yeah, you go up into, but you wouldn't go up that high anyway because the oxygen, you know, it'd be freezing and all that. And
it's not as high as you think, though. It's only what is it? I think I saw it for the American one because when I was reading something about bringing in the hover cars or some sort of single vehicle flying vehicles in the future, is this sort of argument of where does the regulation lie between aerospace up high and where public would be allowed to fly safely.
You wouldn't be able to see anything up there anyway. You know, you want to be cruising around looking over people's gardens. And you know, just having a browse up over the mountains with the lakes, just having a browse, you know, just.
Where'd you even get it?
Off a lad. This is within the 5k.
Did he bring it in from abroad?
No, there's a few lads.
There's a place you can get them in there.
Yeah, I rang a guy who I found online, and then he put me onto a friend who was selling one who just recently bought a new one. He gave me a crash course when I was done. He was a cool dude. He was like 50 years of age. He had motorbikes, jet skis, mountain bikes, them your wingsuits, all that. I was like, you're
you and 30 years
lad. It's like, you're cool.
And is there 2-seater ones? Or are they all single-seater?
I don't know. I'm only getting into it now.
Yeah, okay.
Something to do. You know, it's fun, something to do, and I said, why not?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, if you don't have the courage to get up and try it, you never want to experience the feeling of seeing that, just seeing the world from that view, without a capsule around you, without
Yeah.
playing, just
Feeling the wind and just
Yeah,
the
man.
smells and seeing
Just-
everything moving underneath you, man. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, eating the popcorn. Do you know?
Yeah. Do you ever look to, when you go jumping out of planes, are you able to jump on your own?
No,
you still have the team.
Tandem.
Would you
I'd
are
like
you
that.
progressing to get your individual license to
I
jump?
like that. I like to look at. There's a lot of things I want to do on my bucket list, but I suppose every year you keep trying to enter some sort of self qualification of some way. You know, as far as license, I'm a motorbike test in the morning. As I said,
Yeah, you're driving a provisional 3 years. Like.
yeah, because if you don't get put off for last year and a half for Corona, but
Yeah.
I have it in the morning buzzing and yeah, maybe fly
That Stephen as well is planning to go get his full. What's it called when you jump out of the plane? Skydiving license.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Which Steve?
Stephen Winters, again, the last podcast that came out,
lovely,
he's in that kind of thing. But you see, he's, again, that sort of requires that next level of stimulation to find enjoyment. And so one of the things coming out of the military is that he had to keep getting that excitement. And so he does cliff jumping and kayaking and different bits and pieces. And skydiving is going to be his next focus for a while. So he's going to get his course.
I just, the way I look at all these things, I just think they're fun. Like, I don't really think anything of them. And I get, you know, my mother would be worrying sick and stuff. I was like, jeez, I'm just doing what's, you know, it feels normal, you know? And like, just because it's fun, you know? And I don't see, like, obviously there's a risk with that. Like, you see people dying walking down the street. Or fucking, you know, it's like...
So there's no point trying to stay in your little bubble because you're going to be dead no matter what happens.
We all have the same ticket out here, just different train times, you know? Literally.
I like that one.
And I've had people close to me, excluding my father, you know, who've been taken before their time suddenly, and you never know. And it's like, fuck, it makes you take a step back and appreciate what, you know, you do. And like, you don't have to do anything if you're content and happy with what you're doing, you know? So it's
I don't know if people really are content and happy when they don't feel that kind of stuff.
True, but I think it's a very case-by-case basis. Everyone is different, you know?
Yeah.
Everyone is different. It's all about your philosophy and perspective and the way you see the world with your, you know, I suppose nature, nurture, the DNA that makes you, as well as the environment you grew up in. It's like how you, what you want to get out of life, you know?
What was interesting was when I was talking to Dar, he was talking about one of the ways of treating people with PTSD, and he talked about psilocybin and the use of it. But he was talking about it. He was talking about it from a framework though, whereby you actually have to bring these fellas who have come from these environments. You need to bring them back into the environment because that's where the healing will take place. And it was sort of struck me because I always thought that once they come out of, you know, the middle of the war zone is where they got the trauma. Well, then we want to keep them away from the trauma so that it doesn't happen again. Because no, you need to bring them back into the trauma because that's actually where they were thriving. That's where they were alive at that moment, and that's where you have to channel the emotions and address the emotions.
It's that I think I don't know if you're getting addicted to the adrenaline. Is it maybe?
Well, that from an addictive point of view, that's what does get you hooked.
You don't want it to be.
But it runs deeper than that, though. It isn't just connected to adrenaline.
You don't want it to become reckless in your behaviour. Do you get me? If you can control it, there's that again. I suppose you're trying to find that balance for yourself, you know. And it's like,
but there's not much control when you're booting it down the road on a bike or 1,000 feet up in the air on a paramotor.
Where you feel that you're in control. Do you get me?
There's a certain
like when I'm on the bike, there's a line I know not to cross because I've fallen off of that. And you learn that. It's like getting submitted in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you get back in the saddle and try again, or you can quit in the spot and never improve from that second.
Don't you know that Alex Hammond fella? Do you ever watch Free Solo?
Oh, I have the free climb.
Yeah. That's an epic documentary.
He knows he's not going to fall because he's done it. He's been there, done that, and it's like, do you know, it's like we're on about that adrenaline and that buzz. It's like, you know, when you experience, like you're on about the war, or even from my perspective, hitting a jump on the bike or in a fight, you know, that buzz and the intensity and the high. As I said, when you're not, having felt that, getting the hand raised, and it's like, it's you feel like a gladiator. You go back then Monday to Friday, twiddling your thumbs, and it's like, you don't want to sit and watch fucking telly, like, fuck that. You know, it's like you want to get up and get going again, you make something else happen. You know, and it's like, what's the next adventure? You know, instead of life, it's like, there's, you know, it's like, why not? And then there's like, there's that mentality there where it's like, why the fuck are you doing that? It's like, you stay secret. It's like, I'm not doing it for fucking please you or anyone else. I'm doing it because I enjoy getting up and living my life and fucking having a bit of fun with what I have the access to. You know, it's like, the beautiful countryside where we live here, and this, it's like the hills, and it's like it's on you to get up and get active, like, it's like, and there's no pressure on that which you put on yourself. So it's like, you don't have to do it for anyone. Make your own, like, and that's what the martial artist said. I'll do this till the day I die because I love the lifestyle. It keeps me fit and healthy. I train every day. Keeps my mind sharp. I love the buzz when you're in a hard spar. It's like, and I love. And when I go too long without a competition, my mind, you can drift. You need that date to focus on. It's like get you working towards something. And it's nice to go out and test yourself. And if something good comes from that, then fucking, it's up to you. Reap the rewards. Fucking ride that wave, go with it, whatever. It's like
you'd be out shooting as well.
Yeah, I love shooting. I grew up again, country. I grew up in the country, like, so my uncles and stuff went to growing up. So I grew up hunting in different ways. As I got older now, I grew more of a heart. And I like, again, all licensed when the pheasant shooting season's on. I like that. I like a lot of clay shooting, fishing.
And you're pretty good with it too. I was watching that video on the Instagram, man. It's pretty sick, like, you got a good eye for it.
It's expensive, but I tip away.
How expensive?
If you're doing it a lot, there'll be weeks there. Could you spend a couple $100 on clay?
On the clays, like, do you go down to Knockloffley for the ammo?
No, local chap here, Paul Halloran up in Drangan, good gun salesman. And good.
Was a power motor expensive?
Yeah, it's price of a motorbike, I suppose.
Okay. A good motorbike.
Yeah, and like, I wake up, my days, I suppose, balance. I try, you wake up, train, I suppose every day is like a division, but you're trying to find that balance. How much time do I allocate to this, that, and the other? It's like between family, work, obviously business, so you need to put money in the bank. So it's like family, time, business, and then pleasure, So it's like you're trying to get that balance, and 24 hours in a day, if you're up, a few hours sleep, up and at it. And
you are in a unique position though, whereby the way of putting money in the bank for you is just as enjoyable as your pleasure time. And that was one of the excuses a lot of people would use, though, is that, I have to work, I don't have time to be doing any of these other things. But it is hard to get money in, especially when you're starting off. But you've committed so much of your time and your life to this.
But the way I look at that,
brought it to fruition.
When I look at that, I didn't plan on this happening. It just happened. Do you get me? Because I just love training. I was kind of ignorant to the fact of anything else, whether it was good or not good for me. I just wanted to train it because I loved it, and I wanted to be in the gym. And looking back on it just all those sessions, like it's like a blur now with like all the years rolling into one. It's like it just happened, and I evolved with it, because I was doing what I enjoyed doing. So it's kind of like, and that's your qualification. That's like going to college and spending X amount of time studying whatever. It's like put in the hours, It's like, and. It's like everyone's human. No one's unbeatable. I'm not claiming to be perfect. I'm far fucking from it, as I said. It's like, but I know in my heart and soul I've invested more time into this than that else I've done.
Where would you like to see this club in 5 years?
I'm just trying to keep going, like build it, expand, bigger, better facility for the members for Clonmel. Bigger. I want to create a platform for a day one beginner to come in, and if they want to pursue, no matter what age you're at, you get something. Like if they want to come in, like with the hobbyists, 80% of members are the hobbyists. People are just they've outside working life and family, and they come in here because they enjoy it. Keeps them fit. You learn self-defense skills. It's a social aspect. You have friends in here for life, and there's no better bond than the training that you do with people. And then it opens up doors as far as opportunities. If you want to go out and compete, you do well. You compete to improve, not to prove. It's like, and every day you show you're growing. And competition, like we've had little kids, one of the little kids he fought in the Cadet World Championships over in Italy there last year, and he did unbelievable. He's only 16 years of age. He got to go out there and represent his country. Things like that. Like, and that's memories he'll have for life. He's only warming up. He's unbelievable. Dean Lowe, but
who's that?
Dean Lowe. Yes. And we've had for a small young gym, like I'm probably one of the youngest coaches in the country as well, but we'd four athletes make the Irish team 2 years ago for the World Championships, I think it was the most from the one gym, and I was proud of that, like if I was so young, like
sure,
started, like, I think that was cool.
Yeah.
I love coaching as much as I love fighting, it's like genuine. It's like when I was coaching my brother and stuff growing up, and all the students in the gym, like the people that followed me from gym to gym, that stuck at it, and they got something out of it, and I could see that how much it helped them. And Like, I see beginners in here every day, and I see the experiences that they're going through, the same emotional and frustrations and the fears that it reminds me when I first started. You know, it's normal. You have to, every black belt was a day one beginner. You get me? Or pro was once an amateur. You have to start somewhere, but once you're guided the right way, and the biggest leap is getting your ass in the door to let us help you. Do you get me?
So you'd love to have a system in place whereby when beginners walk into the gym, the platform, the future for them is laid out when they come in. You can provide it to them.
Yeah. Well, look, I'm far from done competing myself as well. I'm hungry to get going and make something happen there now. And again, build the gym with my students. Get them fights. They are the gym. You know, so let's get behind them. They're the future of this of here. As well as, like, when I'm coaching, the average Joe is the most important person on the mat to me. Do you get me? It's like they're as important as my prize fighters. Like, you know, it's like I try not to. If I have a mixed class, everyone gets the same attention.
Yeah.
You know?
And you are very good for that. To be fair to you,
I try. It's a hard thing. Like,
it is a hard thing, man.
I found myself for not doing it in the past. And try to get rid of any favouritism, try and give them the same attention to everyone. Everyone gets the same version of me, kind of. You come in, you're respectful, you're sound. I welcome anyone in with open arms, and you feel right at home here. Feel basic route, no shoes in the mat. Yeah. Don't be a dick, you know. And show up and try your best. Your best is your best, and no one else's. So there's no requirements. You need to sit out and take a rest at any point. Chill out.
Yeah.
Just lay back. I'm not going to bite you. You know, it's like. And,
it is a real nice gym. I was saying it to. When I was talking to Mitchell, because I've been to a few different gyms in Cork, and
John's been up a bit training.
Yeah, I saw actually there was again on your Instagram. Actually, I did see it, that you had a picture of him not too long ago. Before he went to Dubai, actually, just before he went to Dubai. But there isn't the atmosphere you have in here is pretty unique. Other than Dragon, I haven't seen it in too many other gyms.
I've been in a good few gyms growing up, and again,
nothing against them, but
nothing from gym. Yeah, I love every gym. I've been in a positive thing to say about every coach. It's like, but it's just I didn't grow up down the road from a gym like a lot of lads. You know, it's like I grew up out in the country, and local community boxing hall or local community hall where there was boxing and karate classes growing up in school. I done what I could, and then I eventually found MMA when 30 minutes away in a gym in the town before I was ever driving. Eventually, that was for a few years. Eventually went to college, so there was a gym at college, so I was up there for 4 years, and then, it's like, I met a but then I started to really seek it out. I went on, I made my commitment, to commute daily to Dublin, and for years.
You did it for years, man. It was a big commute, man. Big commute, early morning and back in for training.
I loved it. I used to...
What did you do going up in the car?
I'd drive up with coffee and a podcast every day. I'd try and learn something.
Driving, sipping a cup of coffee, listening to something, man. It's absolutely savage.
I love podcasts, and I went to good face trying to teach myself some sort of Spanish, just going up and down and just playing
using Babel, or what were you using?
Sorry?
What were you using?
Just YouTube videos, and just trying to go along with them. And
did you pick up anything?
Oh, not very basic. But I loved them. You'd be tired driving up, and then while you're going up, and you'd be driving home, holding your arm, your face, smiling. It was the best feeling ever. Let's go again. It's like, you have to, I had to question it so many times. It's like, should I just fucking go do an apprenticeship? But fuck that. It's like,
you stuck with, you backed yourself.
I love it, yeah.
You backed yourself.
Man, and the journey, I've had some cool fucking experiences through this, and like, as far from done as I said, I believe the best days are still ahead.
Yeah.
And, but fucking things memories that made me grow as a person, I feel. And no one put me there, I had to fucking get it myself, and it's like, and show up, it's like, and say yes when the opportunity comes, I suppose, and
that bus you're driving now outside, that is an absolute tank for thing as well, man. It's a savage job. Yeah. But you wouldn't, is that your main vehicle now?
Yeah, well, I'm doing.
You wouldn't drive to Dublin and that thing regularly?
No, but not regularly. No, I'm going to get into a car now soon.
How bad is she on the fuel?
No, right. It's not. It's obviously worse. I had a nice Mondeo, but it wasn't practical for the day. It's lovely going down to Dublin, but when I put the
Mondeo wasn't practical.
It was for when I was going down to Dublin. It was a nice car. Lovely car. But when I'm day to day with the gym, the bikes, the dogs.
You needed something you
rough ready. Yeah. That's going to get stuck in the motor. And I always love the look of them. Like the Mondeo, I sold it for thousands less than what I paid for it. Do you get me? Because it's going down in value all the time. Something like that, I'll sell it for more than what I paid for it. It's going up, if I do sell it. And Yeah. Anyway.
Would you ever look at doing up a camper van?
Yeah, on the bucket list.
Is it?
Yeah. Well, I'll get this escort going now. That's next, and I'll get another car then. But
will you drive the escort?
oh, I'm doing a 2-drive a daily. Yeah,
As a daily vehicle.
Yeah.
Okay.
200 brake horsepower. Rear wheel. That's
What are you going to do with the NCT?
Which?
What are you going to do with the NCT?
We'll come across that bridge.
You can move the mic if it's in your way.
Thank you.
If it's making you claustrophobic or anything.
But
you've been also spending a good bit of time training. You're teaching an old dog new tricks. The tricks you've been doing with Lacey are savage, man.
Lacey is my.
What age is she?
She's 4 on the 1st of May. She's just like my child. She comes everywhere with me.
She's beautiful.
She loves being in the gym when there's classes on. She loves the kids. She's a purebred American Pit Bull Terrier. 4 years old soon.
She's a beautiful dog, man.
Yeah, she.
Would you be able to do a few tricks with her now, or was she?
With Lacey?
Yeah.
Possibly, yeah. Come here, Lacey. Come here.
Let's see what we can do. They say never work with children or animals, but
which?
They say never work with children or animals, and you do both. So you know.
Speak. Lacey. Down there. Down. Okay, here.
She's distracted now.
Lacey, speak. 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 She's stubborn.
Yeah.
Taking. I taught her to do it without the need for treats. Do you know what I mean? You don't need that. But yeah, Lacey. Okay, twerk. Good. Dance. Good. Yeah. Speak.
She knows what she wants you to do. She's giving you the half arc.
Sit. Bang.
Oh yes. Yes.
That was terrible.
Slow mo.
Good ball. Okay. Twerk. Speak. Finally.
Yeah,
it worked.
Good girl. That's a good girl. And you've magic up your sleeve as well.
Stop. That's from the past.
No. I hear you can still do it.
I didn't mess around. That all happened. Good friend of mine, Rohan Khan, back when we were young.
I know. I remember Rohan Khan.
Me and Rohan were basically both growing up, but we.
Did you know him before school?
In school, we went
just from school.
Yeah. Okay. We joined the Society of Irish Magicians together. Oh man, it was mad. It was something back in. It was cool for when you're out and about, you know, back in the day, like.
Yeah.
So look, we were only young lads. I remember how I think we met Keith Barry years ago after he Clonmel Park.
I was going to say, yeah, he came for a couple of.
He told us about it. We joined in. We used to meet every month in a hotel up in O'Connell Street in Dublin.
Serious?
Yeah, first Tuesday of every month, Cassidy's Hotel at the end of O'Connell Street in Dublin. And we used to go up the whole time. And this was back when we were going to the train and stuff, and you know, before we were driving.
Yeah.
And famous magicians from all over Europe and Ireland, were, you know, like proper lads that your jaw hit the floor. Yeah. You'd be fucking trying to levitate shit. You think it's real, like. We were, oh man, they convinced us for a little while. They're making it, But then you pick up things, they teach you, they'll sound out, you know, and you just go up and it was a couple of hours, you chill out and chat and mess. There's people to show things and they'd have special guests giving talks and I can't look. It was
savage, man.
Oh man, I picked up some cool shit.
The Irish Magicians Association.
The Society of Irish Magicians.
The Society of Irish
Magicians. Cool lads up there, very cool. Some friends I met there. And I learned some basic stuff and I just used to do it for fun, you know, and it was nice for your friends or family dinners and stuff. You'd entertain. I mess around with the kids in the gym here, and if people ask me, I try to do something small to try and. It's not to fool anyone. It's for entertainment.
Yeah. Like, I think anyone really understands that. That's what.
Yeah. People get offended. It's like.
It's not real, but it's like I know it's not real.
You know, it's like. It's a skill that needs to be practiced like anything, and if you get good at it. You know, the sleight of hand and misdirection, it's fun.
Yeah,
it's like,
it is fun.
If you get caught out, it's like you make a grown man feel like it's possible for that split second, you know. And that little look in their face, like, what the fuck? That's fun. You know? It's like being able to give somebody that feeling. You know, it's a bit of crack. Like, and again, I enjoy doing it. You know.
How long were you in the society for?
Oh man, it was on and off for a few years. Like, just messing. You know, like, just playing around. Like, I'd just pick up a deck and play. And close up magic is my favourite. Not on that stage where there's a box. No habit. You know whatever. Yeah. Stuff.
What did you call that?
That's stage magic.
Stage
close-up magic where it's like
magic.
mentalism. It's like in your hand. It's done fun to you. I like a bit of that. I find it helps in the fighting. You know, when you're distracting people. You know, it's, you know, and look, if you do something after if you want.
I'd probably see if we could squeeze a trick or two out of you if you still have it going. Like,
cool. But freaking man, look, the sky's the limit. Hopefully with this place, I'm hoping that it just expand, get fights booked for myself and my students. Work on other things that I want to implement that I'm not going to open my mouth about them because I don't want other people to be me too. Do you know? But there's other things I'm just tipping away on. And look, at peace with what I've done and what, you know, like, obviously certain loads of regrets too, but you learn the past. You get me? Fucking, you make peace with them. You move. You're not going that way. You move forward. Be content with the present. That's healthy and fucking and still here, you know, and excited for what's to come, you know. And then you can go and do whatever you want, like, and you don't have to do anything. It's you do that which you put in yourself. You know? Enjoy it. The best, enjoy what you do. Find something you're passionate about and try and fuel that. And you don't have to make money out of it, but by all means, if you can. But then that can sometimes take away from the passion. You know, it's like so you have to. There's a balance.
There is a balance.
Who has a right? Do you get me? It's like everyone on planet Earth, you know, you're a human being that shat on nappies at one point. Same thing. You wake up and you learn how to walk, to talk. You learn how to write and read. You learn things. And if you're too much of an ego to be a beginner again, that you think that I know it all. I can't let him see that I know nothing. It's like I have to. You know, it's like. You're inhibiting your own ability to improve. You know? So that's the way you really learn that humbleness. I find true. You in my MMA gyms, like that's where you hear a lot of that in jiu-jitsu specifically. That humbling, you know. It's like, and you hear that a lot because if I touch on that, like in your boxing sparring, like you're not going. If you're wrong if you think coming in every day and fighting to the death, knock each other out is a smart way to improve. Look. Feeling that if you're a fighter and you're fighting up, big gloves on, pads on, somebody your weight and size, they'll give you a good challenge safely, but push each other. Like if you wobble somebody, you're not going to be going in trying to hurt them. You know, give them, he doesn't recover. You put that hard spar maybe once every 6 weeks. You know, God forbid you get a concussion. But then day-to-day training, especially for the normal classes and beginners, that's for a fighter. Is safe, schoolboy, tip-tap, you touch and learn how to do it safely. Where you're building your skills, your movement, your muscle memory, your timing, coordination, rhythm, distance management, fight IQ, all that. And without getting, you can walk away without any bumps and bruises, show up again tomorrow, you know? And your brain is intact, you know?
How do you decide how much time to give each of the different focuses?
That's the balance, like, and I try and structure for my students with the timetable that
not even in terms of MMA, but I mean across the board from your personal life, from the four categories you mentioned there between work, family, pleasure, and what was the fourth one? You a couple of. How do you work out what's going to get what attention today?
Well, that's just take it in your stride. You know, try not to.
Do you have a structure? Do you have a schedule?
Some form of routine. Generally, every day is different. PT, class, gym, and sessions and all that. You know.
Yeah.
And I work with the gym. I do all kind of any business messages, calls, and I need to do like that
in the morning.
In the morning.
Do you fast? Do you?
I like eating fasting lately. I'm trying to do that. So kind of eat between 12 and 4 in the day.
12 and 4.
Yeah.
12 and 4. Wow, 4 is early enough to be finished up eating.
Yeah, and
oh wow, 12 and 4.
But it's flexible in the sense that
20-hour window of fasting.
But it's flexible in the sense that outside of that main big main meal, if I have good cravings from light fruits, to nuts and seeds and berries and things like that, and water and coffee and
popcorn not triggered.
Well, popcorn's alright. Trying to put salt in that, but it's a nice thing to fill that void off and people off popcorn. But the fish and rice cakes.
Fish and rice cake. The 20-hour fast is a big window, like.
Yeah, I'm playing with it.
How long have you been tipping away at that?
Try different things. Good. Only a couple of weeks now on that specific one. I was 2 meals, And
like I'm eating in, like I've taken a big chunk of your eating time today. So how will you balance that for later on?
I'm not hungry right now. I'll get a nice portion meal now and I'll go home after this, have a shower.
And do you measure all your calories? No.
I've been through that phase of doing live recalls, and you get to know the foods. Like you spend enough time, you get a fair idea as to what's the average.
Your intuition picks up, and you know.
And like you don't be carrying around the scales which measure every gram for the rest of your life.
I think it takes the fun out of eating as well when you have to stop and go, I better make sure how much this sauce.
Estimations and portion sizes, and like every day is a new challenge to adapt and evolve your body, and like,
would your diet be pretty clean?
Yeah. It's a healthy lifestyle. It's like a diet is something you go on to come off. It's a temporary thing, kind of. As far as if you're getting down to the name what it is.
Which is why you have to pick up that intuition for food, because you can't remain on a diet forever.
Yeah. So you evolve your eating habits with new education throughout life and how you feel, and there's like every day. I strive to live a healthy lifestyle, and here and there you pick in moderation. It's like if I have a fight coming up or something, it's a different level of discipline. Do you get me? And it's like, but you're human, stay in shape all year round. You can't. If you were to stay shredded all year round, your quality of life wouldn't be too enjoyable, in my opinion. But
do you get much sleep?
Yeah, 7 hours I'm happy with. 7 I think it's optimum for your health, but 6 to 7 I'm happy. I don't. A little bit of FOMO, I suppose, fear of missing out. Not even. I just love. I'm excited to get up and start the day. Get the best air is the morning fresh air. The dew on the ground. Go out for my coffee with the dog and loosen out, stretch, whatever, and I might do a morning session if I work hard to do a class or whatever, and then go home. Then time the fam, the girlfriend, any DIY stuff. Looking to have the shed to tip in the night time as well, and then. Any chance I get them, I'm off. So I don't go into the ocean as well. That's on bikes, working.
How does she feel about the amount of time you spend among other things? Because that's one of the things with juggling a relationship and all this is that they often feel they can sometimes feel left out with people who are seriously driven. They spend a lot of time working and stuff.
True. Yeah, but I find we have a good balance. We're together a long time now, and she gets me, I get her,
And that's the thing, man.
She's welcome to do any of my hobbies with me. She's jumped out of a plane with me.
No way!
She's bungee jumped with me. She's
yes!
She's done off on the bikes. Yeah,
the bikes is a big one because they're like
she just bought up her own bikes. Her father's into bikes too.
Okay.
She likes them, but no, she's. Her birthday, I got the skydive for her one time. She no hesitation. Yeah, so she. Okay, but
and would you do much reading?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
And would you set aside a certain amount of time every day to read?
I think it's good. It's food for the brain again.
Yeah.
But there's many forms of. It's like a form of meditation. Reading, the mind is just it's absorbing this. But I find reading very good again because it's good to keep your literacy.
Yeah.
But I find listening to podcasts is I hate I get sick of watching films or watching shit that it's like
and there's a lot of shit out there at the minute like Netflix have been churning their content.
A documentary, a podcast, a tutorial,
something of quality.
something that don't teach me something.
And
I feel better off afterwards. It's like I learned something. It's like,
and I actually relax through that kind of learning. It like some people feel they can't do that because they need to let their brain go to mush and to not have to be turned on all the time. But my brain actually relaxes when I'm learning something new.
Yeah, man, sparring, jiu-jitsu, training, it's a form of therapy. Your mind is switched off, you're focusing on this, and it puts you in the zone. You can't be thinking of anything else outside of stop this person hitting you or choking you. It's like
it reduces the speed of life to something more simple.
Correct.
Staying alive while you're on the mats.
Yeah. And what I was saying a few minutes ago was like, when you're boxing sparring, it's like you're not going to if you have an issue with somebody, it's like you're not going to be knocking each other out because it's not smart. That's not how you train. That's not safe. That's not it's whereas in jiu-jitsu you have the beauty to go. You're always holding back in boxing with your power, with your everything. So you don't hurt your teammates. Whereas obviously competition gives you the chance to go full at it. But in jiu-jitsu you have the chance to go full at it and still be fine and safe. Yeah, because it's you're not getting punched. It's controlled. And you have the ability at any point tap your foot, tap your hand. If you're choke, arm lock, leg lock. I try catch you, you try catch me. If you can't do a submission, try win positional dominance, gravity on the side, always try to be on top. And again, gi, no gi, wrestling, they all complement each other. So you have the four aspects to a real fight.
Yeah.
Whether it is out, unless you're in the middle of a field, you don't have a wall. But in a room, there's a wall. In a cage, there's a wall. In a nightclub, there's a wall. It's like so. you have the open striking, kick. You're at range. Your distance fighting, strikes, kick, punch, knee, elbow. Then you clinch. You have two forms of clinch. You got open clinch if you're in the middle of a room and you're connected. You're clinched up without leaning against something. It's a different form of balance and strategy. Different techniques and things apply. Then the closed clinch against the fence. So if you press against a wall, a cage, different things apply again. It's a completely different game in itself. And then the ground aspect, where you want to beat the guy on top and get control, smother the gaps, and defend, create space, and get back on top or back to your feet, And there's an arm lock, leg lock, choke, pressure submissions. If somebody can't breathe, you can get KO where you knock them out, or TKO where you have them pinned in a position they cannot move and you're hitting them, they can't defend themselves. The referee stop the fight, or you just, in a real scenario, you can obviously just keep hurting them, and because they can't get out and defend themselves. So the referees obviously there for your safety. And again, every class will build a different skill. Your takedown, you take on defense and wrestling. We do a lot of gymnastics and movement and just to be able to throw that body weight around. Because at the end of the day, this is your vehicle. This is what you need to throw around in the fight. You're not having weights in your hand. We have a combat condition because obviously that aspect of our training hugely does help for muscle density, muscle strength, bone strength, all that. And then we have yoga, flexibility workshops, as I said, you're striking, you're boxing, and then you're gi and your no-gi was in jiu-jitsu where we do our belt grades, obviously in the gi, which represents clothes. If you wear a normal jacket, you get torn to shape in class. Gi is something you can wear daily without getting torn.
When you're talking to a beginner, what's the one thing you tell a beginner to focus on?
Have fun. Don't take it too seriously. Come in, listen to your body as far as injuries. If you need a day off, take a day off. Sometimes that can be better than a session off, better and more productive for you than doing an extra session. It's very laid back in the sense that you come in, like I'm reading the map to you, I'm guiding you through if you come in, see what you think. You trust in my experiences if you want me to be your coach, and I'll do my very best to help you get the most out of this experience for yourself while you're in here, and make it have fun on the way, And if you want to set goals for yourself, I'm here to help you smash them, And it's like, you're giving me your time, I'm going to give you every bit of mine and energy. And it's like, when you come in, it's like, I encourage people to try their hand at everything, because if you limit yourself to one aspect, you get good at one thing, but then it's not one thing in a real fight. It's like, and then you can be exposed when you have other weapons to use. So fight the best boxers and try and beat them in boxing. Fight the best jiu-jitsu guys and beat them in jiu-jitsu, and the best wrestlers and wrestling. Jog with the track joggers and sprint with the sprinters, and it's like play a game of soccer for a bit of cardio and footwork and sprints. It's like it's a fun way of training. But everything helps MMA because of the diversity of what you're doing. It's like you could be on your feet. It could be explosive, dynamic movement, left, right, in and out, both stances. If you're shooting for a takedown, defending a takedown. If you're grappling, you're in the clinch. You're up on top, you're on bottom, you're bent upside down. You could be in so many different positions. You need to be diverse with your body movement and not just good at one thing. So if you're all slow twitch muscle fibers, you might have good endurance but very poor inflicting good damage to somebody. As far as power in your shots and explosive to be able to be faster than somebody when you need that. If you're all fast twitch and you're relying on that with single punch, what happens if you meet your match and they're there round 2, round 3, and you're like, your power's gone out the window. So it's like, and then you've no flexibility. You can't kick someone in the head. It's like, that's only one example. Like, your flexibility helps with an effective guard in jiu-jitsu. It's like, then like you can have two guys and they balance you out. Say you take a blue belt jiu-jitsu guy. Very little athleticism, decent blue belt technique. He'll balance himself out against an athlete who's no technique, but he's a freak. He's solid. Whereas, because the strength versus the technique. Whereas obviously technique will persevere when you go up the levels, in my opinion. But strength does help. It definitely does help. So it's like having the balance between the fight IQ and your skill set,
and actually having the strength to execute.
Having the strength and condition, and not being easy, making sure you're working that part of your training. Especially if you want to be a competitive athlete, they need to be doing that. If it's just for hobbyists that likes learning skills in jiu-jitsu, it's like, again, it helps. And
if you weren't an MMA coach, what would you do?
Probably work with bikes or something. I don't know. Cars. I like bikes and cars. Nutrition, like again, I have that. And
did you ever compete at any of the motocross or any of those?
Yeah, I competed a bit in the motocross growing up. I fully intend on doing it again. Why not? If
Yeah.
fucking, I'm good on the bike and I enjoy it. It's
Yeah.
fun. You know, you don't again you go out and just ride your bike. If you do well, you do well, but you never know if you don't try.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like I'm just going to ride my bike smooth, try not to fall. If I keep tipping, you know, it's like what are you going to get? Like even the best guys aren't. You know, unless you're a factory sponsor, you know, it's like you're not doing it to make money. Same way I didn't do this to make money. It's like, you know, that comes second. You know,
Yeah.
It's like.
But would you pick a hobby over making money?
No,
Like, would you be broke just to enjoy your hobby?
Not broke, jeez, definitely not broke anyway. But you want to be financially free. You know, you'd like to have a roof over your heads and be able to put food.
That's
in the
what's
fridge.
difficult to get to that point.
Yeah. In fact. So then there's that discipline to get over that hump, I suppose, before you start sitting back, but not letting it pass you, because you could be 20 years chasing that if you're in the wrong routine. Do you get me? Before you figure that out, and you don't want the life to pass you by your prime and having spent slaving, what you doing shit that you didn't enjoy, what you have to show.
Yeah.
And it's like memories, experience, freaking a story to fucking tell, kind of. Do you know, it's like, do you know, that's invaluable experience. You can't, that's priceless. Do you know, a life worth living, I suppose. You know, and not going through. You have to have some sense of fulfillment. You know, and like I don't know, the buzz I get when I'm straight off the bike. Well, in here, I feel like I'm giving back in some way. When I feel good when I put a smile in the kids' faces coming in here, and I give them that bit of more confidence. Maybe he felt a bit down on himself or something. You know, It's like, to me that's you know, it's helping me get. I feel good about that.
Yeah.
You know, you can, as a human,
as a
human,
human,
you can't, there's no point in denying that. It's like, but it's like. And I feel lucky and humble to be able to do it in something that I enjoy teaching, it's something I feel I'm good at, because I've invested the time in it, you know? I spent my teen years, like every kid, I got up to some sort of gallivant, but it's like, I spend my days in the gym, you know? And just because I enjoy it, you know? And it filled something, you know? That fire that I felt, you know? And then competition, you just put yourself out there and enjoy it, you know? It's like, it's a mad experiences, mad game, mad journey, and it can take you some mad. I wouldn't have seen half the places I have seen because of this, you know.
Yeah. And that is something that's one of the beauties about having all the photos to prove where you've been. Is it really brings that history and that sense into the gym that the gym has been busy, you know, and the gym has provided a lot. And I appreciate you coming on. You give me your afternoon, man, and sharing your story.
I enjoy talking.
I'd love to get a magic trick off you though if we could.
For the camera? Or for
Yeah, for the camera. Would you be willing to?
Yeah, well, I'll try a couple of things.
I'll do it over. We'll do it over there. I can move the camera, you see.
Cool.
What do you think, Gracie? Huh?
Go around there, so I'll try a couple of things.
Well, what sort of tricks have
I'm
you
doing a few different ones. I'm doing on you first. Okay?
Okay.
Here. Okay, look, see right there, tip my finger.
Yeah.
Right there, look, come on, reach out. Grab this coin. Okay? Take your behind it now. Okay? Put your hand out and hold on to the coin. Okay? Come in here. Now take this one. Instead. I'll put the camera on something for a second.
Yeah, I will, yeah. It works better with the camera.
Alright, come here, I'll try a couple of tricks.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to give you the deck. You're going to choose some remaining cards, so cut a portion off the top and leave it there. Bear in mind you're going to choose in the bottom pocket, so just take off some off you. Leave it there. Super. Say stop whenever you want and take a card.
Stop.
Take it. Memorize it, don't let me see it. Throw it back on. Alright, I'm going to put them back on and I'll just leave it there in front of you. Square it up and leave it there. See these?
Yeah.
You're going to take one card off the top and leave it face down.
Yeah.
And just one by one, nice and slow. And whenever you get the urge to stop, stop. And I'll take you what to do then. Fair enough?
Yeah.
Let's go. Just from this pile here.
Whenever I get the urge to stop.
Happy there?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Let's see where you stopped then. Now, you happy? You sure? You happy with that? Okay. Now, you could have gone further. Could have stopped earlier. So had you stopped earlier, it would have been a 7. If you went further, it would have been a 6. But you didn't. You stopped on this one, which is a
9.
9.
Yeah.
Okay, a diamonds. But bear in mind, you could have stopped one sooner.
Yeah.
8 there. There's a 5 there.
Yeah.
You get me? But
Yeah.
you didn't. You stopped on.
9.
Let's see, there's 9 of any significance. Okay? One by one, count down till we get to the 9th card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and there's the 9th card. Have a look, John.
Woo!
Right, I don't know. Like that. Right, come here. Put your right hand. Am I in a good angle there?
Yeah. You're pretty good.
Right, right hand like this.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to take the card off the top of the deck. Queen of diamonds.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to put your hand like this. The pincher grip.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you I'm giving you the queen of diamonds. Okay. If you don't trust me, you can have a look. Thanks for the trust anyway. Alright. Easy, settle. Okay. Loose grip. I'm going to take the next card off the top of the deck.
Yeah.
Queen of hearts.
Yeah.
Okay. Now loose grip. Without looking at the card in your hand, do you switch them? Do you think it is?
No.
No. Okay. I'll do it slowly so.
Yeah.
Loose the grip.
Yeah.
Okay. Without looking at the card in your hand, do you think I switch them?
I don't know!
Don't take your eyes off because I'll cheat. Alright? So, let's say we were doing it for money, what cards on top?
Queen of diamonds.
Queen of diamonds.
Yeah.
Are you confident enough with that?
Yeah.
Okay, I get it. Queen of diamonds. Alright,
Yeah.
watch this. This is what I'm going to cheat. Alright? If I haven't done so already. See that? Have a look.
I don't wanna.
Alright, try another one.
Bollocks. Witchcraft.
Again.
Witchcraft.
Look for the 4 aces. There's 1, there's 2. 2 there, don't I?
You think you know reality?
Alright, come here, watch that. I'll try a couple of these. We got clubs, hearts, spades here, and then this one here.
Yeah.
Diamonds, alright? So if I throw the diamonds there, I'll do everything real stuff. Next is up.
Oh look. We go again. Reset.
Memorize the 4 of them. Don't forget the magic deck card. Clubs, black, red, clubs on top of hearts.
Yeah.
On top of spades, and then on top of
Diamonds.
the last one, diamonds. Okay, so throw that down, take the next one off, okay, and I'll throw that one there.
Yeah.
Would you be impressed if I could swap them?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, magic that I can do. I can do even better than that. So, should we do this? I can actually take the 2 red ones back and give you 2 black ones.
I'm regretting even getting to do this magic now. My brain is getting scrambled.
Let's take 5 coins right again. Okay, so don't forget the order.
2 seconds. Yeah.
Don't forget the order. We got clubs, we got hearts, we got spades, we got diamonds.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if I peel them from the top, it's going to go clubs on top of, hearts on top of,
Spades
on top of
diamonds.
diamonds. Okay. Now we're going diagonals. Okay. So we'll take the 2 opposite ones first. Watch this. I'm going to do a little flick. Boom. See that? I can very smoothly make the pop across. So we'll try these 2 here. You watch this. Watch. Boom. See that? Again, very smoothly. Put your hand here in the middle of the last one. Put your hand there. Watch, over your hand. Ready? Watch this. Boom. This one, look.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So that just happened. That's everything you used.
Yeah, I don't know.
Everything's just there. Nothing's been changed, nothing's been altered. What your
Pick here. Ace of hearts. You could pick any card there. Right, try again. Watch carefully. Yeah. Go on. Right there. See that? Back to the top of the deck. Okay? Now, this gets weirder every time I do it. Watch this. We'll do. There's your card.
Yeah.
Everything really slowly.
Yeah.
John. What? I let you. Wait. Okay. Why would we try this one?
I don't like hearts anymore.
Which? Do you know what?
Mm-hmm.
Pick a number.
8.
8.
Yeah.
Not changing much for me.
No.
You sure?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, see you later. I'm done. I'm done. What the? Bro. Bro.
Let's try this one. Don't take your eyes up now. There's your card on top.
Yeah.
The Ace of Hearts.
Yeah.
Push it in for me.
Oh, that one was freaky, man. That one was real freaky, bro.
Just that.
Stop.
Have it.
Yeah.
Look.
Oh, don't make me do this. He's just playing with me now. Like this is.
Is that?
Stop.
Happy there?
Mm. And yet all his time gets spent fighting, and he just has this sort of side hobby.
Like I haven't even done this yet.
Tricking people out. He's there telling me about, protecting the software. Don't let your brain get too scrambled. Drunk brain at 30. And he's there giving me drunk brain at 23 with a pack of paper and a few numbers.
Yeah.
Colin, my bro,
Oh, man.
it was an absolute pleasure. Thank you very, very much for taking the time, bro.
Thank you.
I appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
Keep doing what you're doing, bro.
Legend.
You're a legend, man. Thank you.
Thank you. I chat away all day, lad. There's so much more I can tell.